Alright, so today I decided, with some prompting from friends in the writing community, to share my process for how I did the cover for our Ways Unmasked, which is the sequel to Far Removed. My process is quite chaotic, so I've tried to label my layers to make this a little bit more straightforward. I'll start by sharing the sketch, which was really very messy. I don't do fancy sketches, I just try to block shapes in. Initially I was going to depict our character on the front cover, who some of you may recognize, with a hood on, but I decided to leave that out. I don't know, maybe I felt it made him look a bit too much like Ronan the Accuser or Dr. Doom or something, so left that. Then I went on to just the base for the for his clothes and the torso. That's really just to block in some dark colors to get started. Then this is the original head I'd done. My Naiad characters are rather odd, and these Muscard characters especially are a bit unusual, but all of them have those slightly pointed ears. But I did decide to just redo the head, and it was mostly the ears I decided to change, made them point out more sideways. And I think in this revised version I also added a strap to the mask, which covers some of the patterns you see just ahead of the gills. Then I moved on to the torso, really just building on from that dark base that I showed you earlier. And that has quite a few different layers to it, mostly shading and then adding that blue highlight. Then I went on to the mask. As you can see, I don't have the full face hidden underneath the mask. If I know something is not going to be shown in the final, then I'm not going to go out of my way to paint it. The mask also has a few different layers to it. So that was the first sketch, then I just built onto that. I didn't really bother adding too much detail to the mouth because I knew that was going to be covered by his hand. Let's see, that's the left hand and all of the layers. I think I ended up flattening that hand and then just making a few changes to it all in one layer, which is seen over here. And the right hand, that also has, not everyone will know what this device is. It's one of the 2 ways, an updated version that we get to see in the sequel. It's a communication device, and then I thought I'd just add some reflections of the text or the characters that appear on the 2-way screen, just reflected on his fingers. And these patterns don't belong in this folder actually. That was meant to go with the title. I often just sketch as I'm going along. I also added my original cover for Far Removed just to get a sense of placement and see where everything aligns. Far Removed's text is a little bit higher up, whereas our Ways Unmasked, I decided to push it more down towards the middle so that we could see a little bit more of the mask and his face. Then I started off with just a sketchy title. I needed to know more or less where I would put everything before I started working on vectors to make like a smart version. Then I added the yellow streak, which is made of a few different layers. I like playing with different settings, so I started with a color dodge, which is very pale, but you'd notice if it was missing. Then added a color layer with the yellow and finished off with overlay just to make the colors pop. And finally we have the title, which is made up of a number of different layers. I'm not sure what are these hidden layers here. Oh, those are more of the sketchy layers. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching the insanity that is my PSD files. I can't really explain all of this in a very straightforward way. I wish I could. But I had a wonderful time working on this. I always love my covers and just sharing them with everyone so that you can see it's not made by AI. It is very, you can see every brush stroke over here. And like everything I did with the little creases in the fingers and the texture around the claws. It takes a while, but it's a labor of love.